Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Winston-Salem, North Carolina for the championship game here in the Triad Fall League put on by Blue Chip Basketball Academy. I am Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports, and joining me, as he has most of the day, is James Blackburn. James, welcome in, and are we ready to watch some basketball?
We are ready for the championship matchup here, Marcus. I am ready for a big matchup between Bruno, number 84 in white for Forsyth Country Day, and Pruitt, who's in the blue that's guarding, not sure what number he's wearing right now because he's changed numbers, but you'll know him sooner or later.
Well, accuracy
Bruno
right
comes right out and splashes a three.
Yeah, they rolled in their first game, and Bruno was a big factor. He can drop that three. He's about 6'8", 6'9", I think.
Yeah.
Big.
Athletic, saw him throw down a windmill in the
stretch four. So we've got two bigs here, Pruitt being 6'7", and Bruno being about 6'9", that can both shoot the three. I would say Bruno is probably more consistent from three, but Pruitt has hit 5 3-pointers today. And both of those guys this should be a fantastic matchup. Now, the one thing people should be aware of is that Reynolds is playing their third game of the day because they had to play in. They were the lower seed. And this is only the second game of the day for Forsyth Country Day.
And their first game was a blowout, so they didn't really have to use a lot of energy.
And they got a rest and everything, so there's all that factoring in. But right away, Forsyth Country
Green,
Day.
he is a basketball elite alum from our Southeast Summer Showcase, and he could certainly hit the three ball.
They're picking up right where they left off in the earlier game, already up 6-0.
Yeah.
Now here's Pruitt drawing a crowd, up, under, no good.
Forsyth looks to get out, and here's, man, I mean, we'll call that a layup by grabbing a rim.
Yeah, a little rim grazer. you lay it up and then you grab the rim.
And it should be 8-0 right now. They put it up. But, yeah, you see Bruno's defense stepping out and guarding Pruitt on the perimeter. It's already 8-0 this game. We'll see how much rest. And now he's the X factor right there. We haven't found out his name all day. We probably should have.
Probably should.
That's number 58. We've been calling his number a lot, not his name. But he can go inside, outside, really strong, kind of a 3-4 type player, really tough.
Nice little no-look pass there from Green. 10-3 now, 18 minutes left to go. Running clock as we've had all day.
First half will be running clock, 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes, stop clock. Nice ball screen set there. Here's Chris Freeman. Now they're going to have to really rely on him hard this game, especially if Bruno could bottleneck Pruitt.
Yeah, Freeman, another one of the college prospects in this game. We have several. Freeman looked like he might go to the line, but he didn't go. I thought he was in the act of shooting there, but over the top rebound. I think that's Yvonne. That's
number 85.
Where are the rosters? We had. I think we lost them. We dropped the ball on this here. We don't have the roster.
That's
Middlesex.
Yeah.
10-3 now. But just about 17 minutes left here in the first half. So, as we were saying, we've got several college prospects. Bruno Solomon, number 84. We were talking Charles, who's running the clock for us here in the first half. He and I were talking to Bruno at the break, and he's got several Division I offers. Probably most notably Charlotte, University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Virginia Tech coming in to see him next week, and we expect that to continue to pick up. He's definitely a Division I prospect.
That was a great extra pass there from Bilal to Pruitt. He had an open three, but he decided to elect to throw a nice little bounce pass to Pruitt, who had a good position down there. And this is where he's got to capitalize, hitting some free throws.
Yeah, first shot no good for Pruitt. 10-3 now.
And Forsyth could put up points in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we think Reynolds has to be aware of is that they've had less rest and they play that high-octane style too, just like Forsyth. It could come back to bite them in this game.
Oh, wow.
Over the top to
Bruno just does not miss, does he? I mean, he's got a sweet stroke, nice high release.
Yeah, I really like it. It just comes off his wrist effortlessly. Falling back into the half-court set now, R.J. Reynolds.
Here's the matchup everybody wants to see.
Pruitt back over to Bilal.
There by Hodges. Oh, lost the handle. Looks like that's Hodges, number 12. He's Grant's his first name. And he's really saw him in warm-ups throwing down a little reverse jam.
Yeah, one of the great things about watching these type of games, when you start getting multiple college players in a single game, you can really see how good players really are. It's one thing when you have a guy who may be a college prospect and he's playing against, regular high school players. But when you get 2 or 3 guys, 4 guys that are all college prospects, then you start seeing how good they really are. Or not. You can get exposed that way too. So
Exactly. Good pass there by Trip Green. Right back to him. Little give it go. He got fouled going to the line. You can pretty much put these down as cash because Trip Green does not miss free throws.
Very good free throw shooter. But right now, Forsyth Country Day has opened up an early lead. They haven't roared out to the lead they took against their first opponent today. Jim, it still has quite a pretty good crowd, not quite as big as it was earlier.
A little bit quieter in here. Good rebound there. Oh.
Now, R.J. Reynolds is a public school here in Winston-Salem, a storage school.
Pruitt got a piece of that.
Meanwhile, Forsyth Country Day is a private school, so these schools would not be playing during the normal season. Bilal up.
That's a
nice
tough
little
shot.
hesitation, but he can't get that.
You're not going to get that foul. That's a fall away. That's a poor decision.
He did a good job getting that shot off, but it was probably not a great shot. Here's Solomon going to work against Pruitt over the top.
Oh,
good.
wow. Man, that's a big time
money in
shot.
the bank. He's saying, I want those colleges to pay attention. I'll show you what I can do.
And he's doing that against Pruitt, who's a good shot blocker.
Yeah, another thing he mentioned to Charles and myself earlier is that when he came over in the summer to play AAU during the July live period, that was the first time he'd ever played American basketball.
Wow. Oh, good up-ahead pass right there in transition. That's 65.
Pruitt with the rebound. He keeps it. Now, here's something Pruitt can do. He can actually bring the ball up. He's not a guard. He's got to work on his ball handling.
Yeah, he's just,
But he's not really a 5 at all. Much more of a forward. Here's Freeman.
Up against Trip Green. This is a good matchup.
Yeah,
good move
there. Good move.
That's
That's exactly what he should have done.
Good move.
15-4. Reynolds keeping them in check, but they need to get some offense here. 13 minutes left in the first half.
Oh, great
Feed
pass.
inside to Bruno. Freeman comes up with it over the top. There's Trip Green. He does that a lot. Grabs those open court passes.
Good pass. Man, all kinds of good passes. I heard that one down here.
I was like, when was that going to be called?
Oh, they called it offensive.
Wow.
That goes down as the what call of the day.
I'm not sure on what that call was based on.
Yeah, you got.
Maybe it was based on another game that we saw earlier, and it was a late call.
Wow, it's got some few people in the crowd reacting.
Yeah, there's some heckling from the crowd.
Wow.
Usually when we've watched so much basketball, we can't always agree with the crowd. In this case, I think they're right.
Yeah, usually the crowd is wrong.
Big rebound by Bruno.
That was a great take there, though, by 58. He's shown now that he can put the ball on the floor. I would say, Marcus, that any D2, D3 schools out there should definitely take a look at him. He could definitely play at the next level.
Yeah, and he's been solid every time I've seen him.
He has. He doesn't make mistakes. He is efficient.
He's actually plays bigger than he is. He's one of those players that can play in the post simply because he understands how to play the post. There's Freeman driving, and you know what? Freeman looks a little shaken up there, so hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay.
But one of the things that let's see, he is hopefully he's going to be all right.
Oh, you got it.
The clock continues to run, and some of the people.
They should probably stop the clock here.
So here's the thing: a guy that plays at like 58, his position, and he understands how to play. He can play bigger than he is. So that's another thing. Sometimes you see guys that are 6'8", 6'9", that actually make themselves smaller because they don't understand how to play the position. He's making himself bigger. Now, as you said, the reality is he's probably too small to play at the higher level colleges at that position. He'd have to move out to the perimeter.
But he's but he's got really good size. I mean, he's got a really good frame to him, good sturdy base, great. He's solid. I mean, he's solidly built, strong, and he can play the 3-4. Is that right there? If you're a coach, you cannot. He just dribbled 90 feet.
Yeah, Trip Green just went all the way in and just
laid it in. I mean, that's just unexcusable right there. But
Chris Freeman is still on the bench over there. He is
He
not.
is. He's not feeling good at all. Yeah, I mean, no, as you were saying, though, about 58, he could definitely go and play at a lot of Division III schools, NAIA schools, even a few D2s. He's just got to get a little bit quicker. Now, right now, he's defending on the perimeter. That's what we want to see, if he could do that. Might call 3 seconds in the lane. Oh, they got the jump ball. Oh, the other referee called, well, they got a jump ball. Yep.
10 minutes left to go here in the first half, 17-5 in favor of Forsyth Country Day. Chris Freeman now leaving the court here. He's going to step out there. I hope he's all right.
This is what, now it's got to be a walker. Well, Trip Green now is just going to town. Oh, he tried to pick up the European foul right there. Which that's something you don't see a lot of Americans doing, is fouling on the break, which is sometimes a really good thing to do. Here's Trip Green. That's his shot. Bruno with the rebound. Got it ripped away by Bilal. Here's 58. Said, I'm going to save my legs, just going for the old-fashioned two-point play.
They were able to cut it to 10. They've actually gone a while without any points, and that's the first points for them in quite some time. Still only down by 10, though. 9 minutes left to go here in the first half. So not the runaway so far from Forsyth Country Day that we saw earlier.
Forsyth isn't shy about putting shots up. That's
Here's
for sure.
Pruitt. Now Pruitt's got to figure out how to play without Freeman out there.
True. And he's got to be and that's not, that shot right there is not what I would go to. I mean, I know he could hit that, but just because you can hit it doesn't mean that's your bread and butter.
He's also got the change here that Bruno is covering him in this game, which is a taller player, and he's able to, and he's closing better than earlier. So.
True. I'd like to see, him try to go around Bruno, make Bruno, see how fast he can move his feet, pump fake on that three, and then go around him.
You've already got the threat that you can hit that three, so therefore the guy has to cover you. Yeah. And Pruitt is a very quick player. So
that's what I'm saying. I'd like to see him try to do something off the bounce here. This half seems to have gone by super fast.
Yeah, we're already down to the 8-minute mark, 8:09 and 19-7. Got a short stoppage in play. Looks like Freeman is still – now Freeman has come back in, so that's good news. Immediately they try to get the ball into him. That's good. So he seems like he's shaking off whatever was ailing him. So that's great news for them.
Now this is where Pruitt can operate. That's a great shoulder fake. He's got to finish that, but that's a good attempt.
That's really
though.
On him on that one. He got the shot off, but he's –
oh, wow. Great block. Chris Freeman comes back to the game.
They call that a jump ball.
It's good to see Chris Freeman is okay.
Yeah.
They're going to really need him if they hope to get back in this game.
They need his he puts a lot of pressure on the defense from his ability to shoot those gaps in the half-court set, and he's got a beautiful running floater that he likes to put up.
Now, if Reynolds wants to get back in this game, this is the time to do it. Bruno is on the bench right now. He's getting some extra rest.
That last one down there was terrible defense.
Oh, that's twice in a row now that they've scored on straight line drives. And it's an offensive foul. I don't really like that call a whole lot.
21-7. Now here's a dangerous time. Like Bruno's on the bench. We got a timeout on the floor.
And now they're going to call a timeout, get him rest. And and right now, like Pruitt's been a shot blocker all day, Marcus. You haven't seen him do anything to protect the rim today. I think that's a little bit of legs,
Yeah, these guys, it's in their third game. You don't know how much they have left in the tank for this one. Still a lot of time to go, though. The clock is stopped for this timeout. So props to the clock keeper for getting that all straightened out. Earlier, we had some issues with them letting it run to the timeouts. But I want to thank Blue Chip Basketball Academy and Keyshawn Bishop for allowing us to broadcast today. The Netcast Sports crew. You can follow us on Twitter at Netcast Sports and keep up with all of our upcoming broadcasts. We've got quite a few things coming up in the high school season. We've got some minor league basketball coming up. We love basketball. We like being able to bring you into the gym, and that's what we're doing today. So on behalf of myself and all the crew, we really appreciate everybody tuning in. And, of course, once again, thanks to Keyshawn Bishop and Blue Chip Basketball Academy. Back in action for Forsyth Country Day with the ball. Now, we talked about this earlier. Reynolds has a little bit deeper bench, I think, today, but they didn't play a lot of their rotation until late in the previous game.
True. There, Pruitt influenced that one right there.
Yeah, see, now here's the thing with Pruitt
Oh,
out.
see,
That's the
that's
third
just a killer
steal.
mistake. Trip Green is just unbelievable Euro step
it's
right
like
there.
He's an invisible.
Oh, gets another steal.
He's like an invisible defensive back back there.
Look at Pruitt protecting the rim. He just got to hang on to the ball to a good outlet pass.
He does tend to look to break too quickly. Nice shot there, but no
It's
good
from
from Freeman. Yeah,
they could call that on the floor. No shot.
it's very frustrating as a player, especially a young player. Sometimes you don't realize that your fatigue level, and you just can't figure out why you think I just can't play today. I can't figure. Well, they were. This is their third game of the day.
It looks like they are giving them shots now.
23-7. Clock continues to run. 5:52 left in the first half.
Now Bruno checks back in the game.
First shot is good. Reynolds has yet to crack into double digits. Down 23-8. So with 5.5 left to go here in the first half, James, what do you think Reynolds should be thinking about here at this point?
Well, they need to think about playing some defense. Because obviously they're not going to score as many points this game. So I know Forsyth's going to be, they're going to make some shots, but you can't give up easy ones. And you got to contain the turnovers. I mean, all their turnovers, Forsyth's turning into buckets. So you have to take care of the ball, and you just have to take care of the easy ones.
Nice little spin move, but can't get it to go down.
And you can't give Forsyth anything easy. That's the thing. Because you're going to struggle to score yourself.
And Bruno's back in.
And Freeman's going to find himself back in the line as Reynolds is in the bonus.
I see Yahya Bilal looks like he's getting ready to check back in.
Freeman's in the 1-and-1. And he's a really good free throw shooter, too.
Yeah. The only disadvantage here is the clock continues to run at this point. So now they finally cracked that double digits, 23-10, 4:17 left in this one. So he sinks both free throws.
You just go, see, that's what I'm talking about. You're just giving them wide open shots, though. I mean, their defense is just going to really have to improve.
Now,
this
here's
game.
one good thing about Freeman that I like. Even though he's really more of a shooting guard, he can bring the ball up. Nice slashing
Lefty.
score.
That was really beautiful.
By Chris Freeman. He's putting that
High
pressure.
glass. Now, that was big, him coming back to the game. He's single-handedly brought it back.
Cuts it to 10.
Pruitt's been struggling this game.
Freeman fighting over that screen.
Oh, Pruitt influenced that one. Green gets it back. And see, now Reynolds is able to get into transition. This is what they want.
That's a good pull-up there. Kicks it back over to Pruitt. A little wild shot there. He saves it to Bilal.
Great save.
Down in the corner now, looking. This is good ball movement. A little bit chaotic, but they're not making really wild passes. Just feeding inside. Not really a matchup, but they go over the top anyway. Bruno comes up with it. He calmly just grabs that rebound and gives it up to Green.
It's a good matchup here.
Yeah, Green versus Freeman. Freeman now guarding the point.
Wow, that's a long shot. I don't know if I necessarily like that shot from Bruno.
He can hit it, but I mean, that's a pretty. He can get that shot anytime.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, poor pass.
.234 left in this first half.
We see number 55 checking here for Forsyth. Spice. Oh, beautiful crossover. Draws the foul. Clock continues to run. It should be run down to 2 minutes and then stop, I believe, at 2. Both teams seem a little tired. This has been one of the lowest scoring halves of the day.
Yeah, and it's interesting, as we said, Forsyth Country Day has every reason to be running and gunning in this one. So,
2 missed free throws.
meaning they've had more rest during the day, and they had that #1 seed. They had an easier opponent, I would say, early on. Freeman over the
floater.
top. Beautiful
Freeman's
shot
really
by
come
Chris
on here in
Freeman.
these last 5 minutes. Single-handedly bringing his team back. They just don't have an answer for him on the wing to defend him.
Nope, and 23-15 now. This is a test. The first time Forsyth Country Day has really been tested all day.
But see, that's what you can't allow, though. That's another straight-line drive layup. That's the third or fourth one of the half. And in a low-scoring game like this, you just can't give that stuff up.
And, you know, I know the coaches, they're not involved with their teams here. They're just watching from the stands. They're not actually actively coaching at all.
Yeah.
But, you know, they've got to be thinking, just all the things they want their team to do that they're not doing. There's Freeman inside. Good fake by Freeman up over the top. Can't get it to fall. Battled around. Freeman finally comes up with it. He goes back. Bruno bothered him.
Oh, man, Freeman goes down
Freeman
again.
is just getting banged up a lot today. And that's fine. So now the clock has stopped at 1:02. Pruitt helps Freeman to his feet.
But, you know, Pruitt right now, one of his biggest weaknesses is not knowing where his spots are. I mean, you see him all over the court. He's in the corners. He's at the top. He's in the low post. And he's just got to pick where he's going to be best at. You saw him at last possession. He drove it, spin move. He just struggled to – he's got to find his spot in the offense and where he could pick his spots to where he could attack. And he's just got to figure that part out of his game.
Yeah, I think a guy like Pruitt is one of those guys who athletically is definitely a college prospect. He's extremely agile and athletic, and he's often the best athlete on the floor. He just hasn't quite gotten to the point of his game yet where he knows exactly what he should be doing every single time. Or maybe he doesn't have it. Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Straight line layup. Nobody picked up ball.
That's just easy offense for Forsyth Country Day.
They've been able to just dribble down continuously, and nobody's known, there's not a lot of communication going on right now for, and Reynolds last game played a zone defense, and now they're in man. So maybe it was good they were in zone. But they can't afford to play a zone against Forsyth. They're too good at shooters.
53 seconds now. Clock does stop on normal times here. 28-17 in favor of Forsyth Country Day. Reynolds still in this one, not out of it by a long shot here in the championship.
Oh, man, you got to protect
Stolen
the
by
ball.
Freeman. Good rebound on the inside.
That's a great rebound.
Battle for it inside. Got to admire that tenacity inside. And here's the thing. That was great defense by Forsyth Country Day. Freeman wanted to make that pass. Once he got that steal, but they recovered and he had to take the shot. It wasn't. They took away that transition pass that he wanted to make. But ultimately, 30.8 seconds left on the clock here, and Reynolds has a chance to cut it by 2. It's gotten really quiet in here. It was a lot of people in here right before the game. I thought maybe we would have a good crowd for the game. I mean, not saying anything about the crowd. I don't want to get the letters from the 10 people who are in the crowd. There are more than 10 people. Yeah,
it's just a quiet crowd.
Yeah, it's like everybody suddenly.
Which I like a quiet crowd. I don't like the crowds with
like it's a golf game. 26 seconds left here. 28-19.
Oh, you got to hit him in the post there. But Bruno's been quiet here in the last 10 minutes or so.
They're really battling down at Bruno and Pruitt on the block there.
Wow, that's a huge three. Shot. Man, that's a big three right before the half.
31-19. Now here's Pruitt.
He's going to pull up for this.
5 seconds. See,
he doesn't know it's 3, 2, 1. See, he didn't know that the clock. That's one of those situations again, not having the clock on the side hurts him.
Now you see Freeman actually telling Pruitt, I think you should have taken that shot earlier. Pass it or take a shot earlier. All right, we got a 3-minute halftime, so we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. we got about 1:50 left here in the half. Want to thank everybody for joining us once again today. We are watching the Blue Chip Basketball Academy Triad Fall League. This is a championship game. We are 31-19 now in favor of Forsyth Country Day. They came in as the #1 seed, and they aim to leave as the #1 seed today. And James Blackburn is taking off at the half. He was here with me most of the day, but I'm bringing in Charles Clark. So Charles, you've been sitting here having to listen to me and James the whole first half. Any thoughts on the first half, or you want to wait and see what happens as it unfolds?
Well, in the first half, definitely Forsyth Country Day, got out to an early start and scored, and Bruno started off hot and everything, and you could see the difference in fatigue a little bit, and then Reynolds kind of got back into it. Young man,
I don't think we have the current
Simmons, I believe, 55 or 66, scored pretty well for them. Pruitt, he didn't really have his best half, but they did get some buckets and some contribution from their big too. So we'll see. The start for this second half for them, I think, is going to be huge. They have to come out with some energy, intensity, and they can't come out slow, or Forsyth can jump on them and it could get ugly. So
yeah, they really got to stop that penetration from
absolutely.
There's been, and James alluded to this, not alluded to it, he brought it up multiple times, that they were just able to drive, especially from this angle. We had this angle perfectly from where we're sitting, right at the elbow to the right of the key there. It's like the guard could just come down and it was a wide open gap right to the basket, and they just took it every single time.
You can't have that.
That's some spacing issues on RJ Reynolds. So we'll see what they come up with in the second half. It looked like they were going to close it, and then gave up a big three there at the end of the first half. That kind of widened it out. 31-19 now for Forsyth Country Day. As we come back, 20-minute halves. We're only 20 minutes away, more or less, from crowning a champion in this year's Blue Chip Basketball Academy Fall League. RJ Reynolds is on the road in this one, Road Blues, against Forsyth Country Day in the home whites. Both schools are based in Winston-Salem. I guess technically Forsyth Country Day is in Louisville, which is just outside of Winston-Salem. Right. Scramble on the floor. Pruitt.
They call a timeout.
And they call a timeout. They gave it to him, so 19:44. That's a quick timeout, but I guess better than a turnover. There's not a lot of room for error here for Reynolds at this point. I mean, they have played better than Forsyth's first opponent, but they can't make many mistakes. They've got to get some defensive stops.
Absolutely. And just like you referred to earlier, you're absolutely right. They're getting the ball. Number 85, Forsyth Country Day, he got inside. I mean, easily. One move and a step and some layups. And that's just a no-go when you're trailing.
We were talking to Bruno. I think I mentioned earlier in the first half before you were on, but you and I had talked to Bruno, and he said that was the first time he played American basketball. Right. It didn't sound like he was all that crazy about playing AAU. not that he didn't like playing but basketball. He just didn't really like the style.
Yeah.
Felt like it was a lot of loose play and not really structured and everything. I'm like, well, a lot of college coaches would agree with you, Bruno.
That's it. Very guard-oriented and running gun. He's a bigger guy that needs to get the ball.
Yep. 31-21. Reynolds scores first in the second half now after that timeout. It's going to be a foul on the floor.
I like this young man's game. He's a slasher.
Yeah.
He can get to the cup. Not short either. Decent size.
I think the reality is, there's a lot to go in this one. For Forsyth Country Day, it's going to be interesting seeing them playing against some of the other private schools in the state to see how good they really are.
Right. That's true.
We've got some really talented private schools here. I know you do down in Fayetteville for sure. one specifically is known, but there's several in the state that are solid schools.
Yes, sir.
That's a big shot on the outside, and that's a three ball for Reynolds. They do come out strong.
They need more of that. They need this young man right here just knocked that shot down. They're going to need a big half from him. He looks like he has some energy. Trip Green, he's just putting pressure on, though. It's constantly coming.
You know, I'm surprised that nobody has thought to just step out in front of him on that.
Right.
Just slide over there. He looks like he's going right to the same spot. It's a big rebound inside and finish. That's a hustle play right there. Freeman now running the point.
Freeman provided a lot of their scoring. Oh, another
Here's
steal.
Green, you know, he's going to get a head of steam up. Scoop
Nice
shot. Oh,
move.
that was an amazing shot by Trip Green.
Got to get some movement going.
Yeah, too much standing around.
Yep.
Fatigue, I think, a big factor for Reynolds right now. Pruitt is all the way on the opposite side. That's another 3-ball. That's keeping them in the game. Now they're down by 11.
Definitely within striking distance. But
This is the end where they've got to make something happen.
good defense. Oh,
Just like that, they get it and they lose it. And ultimately, they do end up with a turnover and R.J. Reynolds with a defensive stop. They need that defensive stop. Freeman getting inside. Nice move.
And he looks tired, but he's playing through it. He's a fighter.
Yeah. I expect him to
through it.
continue to break out this year. I think he's an overlooked player. I think he feels like he's overlooked. I mean, he's a great young man. I've known him for years. Not cocky at all or anything like that, but I think he feels as though he can do more than people believe.
Right. He's shown it today.
Ten-point lead. They've just basically been hanging at that 10-point lead mark for most of this half. 15:50 left in this one. You gotta love when guys can hit their free throws.
That's it.
I hate seeing college-level programs, sometimes high-major programs that have shooting percentages at the free throw line in the 60s. I just don't believe in that.
Doesn't make sense.
Pretty close to a travel
Yeah,
there.
that's what the crowd wanted too.
Looked like he kept his toe down. You have a pivot toe. Bruno.
The rebound, offensive board.
Those offensive boards are killer.
Yes, they are. Fortunately, for R.J. Reynolds, they didn't convert. That could have pushed the lead even more, but
Yeah, R.J. Reynolds is getting a few stops, but they're not capitalizing as much as they need to close this gap. At least not yet. Good pick on the outside there, but they recover for such country day. Now here's
tough
Freeman.
shot.
Rebound.
Oh. He almost had the and one. Almost.
He rolled in and rolled out. Clock still continues to run. 14:26, 40-29. See Keyshawn's son Camden over here taking the Stafford down with some expert wrestling moves.
I think you just got countered.
They've got things over here on the sidelines.
Rebound.
There's Pruitt. He's keeping it. Pruitt's been kind of out of the action here.
Yeah, he has.
Sometimes I think big men will keep the ball like that when they don't get the ball fed to them. They look, how am I going to make something happen if nobody will get me the ball?
Right.
There's Green.
Oh. Like the idea.
Yeah, I mean, he loves pushing it up there. There's Freeman. He's got two on him. Outside to Pruitt. Bruno closes. Pruitt
That's
drops
big.
it.
They needed that. Got down to 7. They could get it down to 5 in the next minute.
Yeah, great push here by Reynolds. They need a defensive stop.
Absolutely.
This trip down will be fantastic for Reynolds.
He has been.
And that is not a defensive stop at all.
This young man, we got to figure his name out.
Yeah.
He's been impressive today.
He's a slasher extraordinaire.
Yes.
We can't read any of James' writing on some of these. And I think James took the roster with him for his secret research. There's Pruitt. That's going to be reach in.
R.J. Reynolds, coach over there, looks pretty involved. He's trying to get his guys going, and bring that energy. They say attitude reflects leadership. So he's trying to bring that energy for his guys, and they'll follow him. But
it just seems like Reynolds continues, and I don't know if it's a fatigue thing on their defensive end, but every time they get in close, they make some defensive mistakes.
Right.
They just leave somebody open, or they let somebody get to the bucket for an easy shot almost right away.
You're right.
And down by 8 now, or 9, had cut it to 7. There's Freeman. He can hit that shot, and that time he drops it. And is that a 3? That's going to be a 2.
They got to get a stop here. This guy's
11:45 left to go. I mean,
to the pull up, no good.
Good stop. So here's a big opportunity for Reynolds. Down by 7. They've trailed the entire game. There's Pruitt. Nowhere really to go. Bruno recovers. Feeds it inside. Good pass.
Move.
Can't finish. So Forsyth Country Day with the steal by Yahya Bilal. He's left wide open out there. He can't finish. And we got a timeout from Forsyth Country Day. R.J. Reynolds, the entire bench was up.
They thought the rebounder was out of bounds.
That was a good steal by Yahya Bilal, and then found himself outside the three-point line and wide open. And what are you going to do? I mean, he's not really known as a three-point shooter. You can see him over there. He's actually pounding the bench. It's tough. You get out there and he really wanted to find somebody to feed on the inside, and he's just left alone. So
right, you got to take that shot. You got to take that wide open shot. So
11:09 clock is stopped here in the title game. Reynolds making a game of it.
That's what we want to see. The first 2 games I believe today were pretty close, and then we had some that weren't too competitive. So of course, championship game, you want to see these guys go at it and really give it everything they got, because this is it for today.
Yeah, you want to finish strong. And for the Reynolds guys, I mean, I think for Forsyth Country Day, expectations are pretty high this year.
Right.
Especially with Bruno being added to the roster.
Right.
Here's Bruno now working against Pruitt.
Tough shot.
Oh, that's a beautiful play by Bruno Solomon.
And that wasn't bad defense by Pruitt at all. He played good defense.
Now, is Pruitt going to take that personally? Because it looks like now he wants a one-on-one.
Right back him.
Decides to give it up to Freeman. Freeman up. That's going to be a foul. But, for what I was saying is for Forsyth Country Day, expectations are high. They know they've got to play a high level of competition, but they do have a talented squad. For Reynolds, I don't think expectations are high. I think that they've got to prove that they can play, and they've got good talent, but I don't think anybody is, really talking much about Reynolds this year. I don't think they're considered to be a favorite or anything like that.
Right.
So they want to play together here, and they want to prove like, okay, this is what we could do during the season. Let's show that we're not just a pushover team.
Right.
And to be blunt, it'll be rare that they face this level of competition during the high school season, during the public high school season.
Oh.
For Forsyth Country Day, they'll see some. You'll see some loaded teams.
Yeah.
Plus, private schools can play a more national schedule sometimes.
Right.
And I'm not sure. Last year, Forsyth Country Day played Oak Hill. That may happen this year at the Phenom event, November 13th or 14th, just up the road.
It's a good little little jump hook type shot. Cut it down to 5. I mean, they're right there.
Slowly but surely. They need some defensive stops.
It's a good kick. Another one. Bruno Solomon.
Oh, that shot is a killer.
You cannot give him an inch of space. That's all he needs is a little bit of space. He's going to knock it down.
It's like we were talking that Bruno wasn't really too involved, and then right when they needed him, he came right back. And that's going to be a foul.
He got caught with the push off. It's a veteran move, but he got caught.
Yep.
It's a nice pull-up, but he
wasn't
wide, needed.
Wide left.
All right.
Over the top.
It's a tough shot.
Bilal making up for that three-pointer he couldn't hit earlier.
It's back at 6. It's you know, they cut it 5, 6. You know, and every time, like you were saying, you know, they'll get scored on or defensive breakdown.
They go right here to this man, Bruno up over the top.
Shot.
Good defense there by Pruitt. Bruno's not happy with himself at all. Down by 6. One thing about Bruno, though, he doesn't wait. He and Pruitt both take off. Big shot by Pruitt.
And it's a 3-point game.
Don't look now.
And you're getting defense chance from the crowd.
7:42 left in this one.
Move by Trick Green.
Green loses a defender, just smoked.
He's a ball player.
Just like that, back up by 6 on the Green 3. Now here's Freeman working against Green. Green stays in his shirt there. Over to Bilal. And we've got a foul inside. Clock continues to run. We've got some substitutions for Reynolds. Reynolds has got to manage their roster to try to keep that fatigue level as low as they can.
That's it. You see a player on the bench stretching, probably getting a little cramped up.
Oh, Freeman, ball knocked away, but Reynolds is able to recover. Freeman gets it back, drives up. Nowhere to go for Freeman.
Nope.
Tough defense by Forsyth Country Day. They got to run out. Here's Green. No look pass over the top. Good job by Reynolds staying with the play. Now they're going the other direction. There's Pruitt.
Uh-oh. It's a good-looking shot. I mean, he's got a good lift.
Yeah, nobody was there in rebounding position, and now Bruno tells his trip, everybody just keep it under control here.
It's good defense. Good Green.
Green just took on like 3 guys. That looked like a running back trying to run through the offensive line. And he's going to get himself to the line. This is a good move now by Forsyth Country Day. 6 minutes left to go. Clock continuing to run, and they're at the line. Green, these are money in the bank free throws. If he, well, I spoke too soon.
But like you said, I mean, the clock is still going.
There's a benefit to it at this point.
And they're slowly getting that lead back up. You know, if he hits this, now it's 7 again. So
Reynolds, if they go back, if they're watching this in replay, they're going to be upset with how many opportunities they didn't take advantage of after making good defensive stops, at least in this half.
Pruitt wants it in the post, kicks it back out. Freeman. Nice
Squares
move.
up, yeah, drills it.
Little shot, fake, one dribble, pull up. It's something you'll see kids
now
doing in
full
workout.
court press.
Yep.
They beat the press and they get it up. Oh, great defense.
Good hustle.
Oh,
Good fake.
nice spin move, beautiful poise.
And it's a 3-point game.
Right back to 3, 4:56 left in this one. Only one player for Reynolds is pressing. Now here's Green. Oh, that's going to be a foul. Green will continue to put pressure on that team all day.
Yes, he will.
He's like, there is no quit in my fast break.
Tough shot.
Oh, bank, a little bank. You know, that's what I love is that when one team starts really getting getting the momentum going for them, the other team just steps up their game. No quit.
Tough move.
Freeman there. It was a little out of control on that one.
I think he wanted a call. It was some contact there now. Definitely was.
Yeah. Now you hear some coaching from the stands. 3:48 left. Still down by only 5. Closest we've had it is 3. They've cut it to 3 twice here in this half. But once again, the man, Trip Green.
He's had a good day.
Yeah, I think he would definitely be the player of this half, if not the game.
And like you said, you know, with the teams they play, with Forsyth play, I believe they play Westland and Greensboro Day, those type of, I mean, so you get to see him, you know, go up against some really good point guards.
That's what you want to see.
And,
you know, you and I, we scout a lot of basketball players.
Right.
And there's a point where you start and you haven't seen a player and you first just try to decide, can the guy play at another level? With a case like Tripp, now you just want to see, okay, how good is this guy really? That's a big 3 ball.
Definitely is.
You know, you want to see, you know, guys like Bruno, guys like Tripp, guys like Kai and Chris Freeman. You want to see them go against really good players because you need to start gauging, okay, these guys are obviously good players. Let's see how good they really are. That's a big 3 right back.
Big time. We were talking about him earlier. I mean, he makes takes the shot at the right time.
These are 2 teams throwing haymakers at each other right now.
Good work inside.
2:26. We're almost to that 2-minute mark. But Reynolds is going to lose about 20 seconds here for this free throw, 58-51.
The referee's holding the ball for a while now.
Yeah, I know. They're just letting it drift away.
Yeah. And that is Freeman back in the game?
Yeah, Chris Freeman coming back. 68 and 6-point lead. 2 big free throws there, and that cuts the lead back to 5. But they have 2 minutes left here. Now we've got normal clock stoppages. And if Reynolds really has to knuckle down here on the defensive end, they've got to get some stops. Oh, huge block by Kai Pruitt.
Oh,
over the top to Freeman.
Pass.
Yeah, almost out of his fingertips. Freeman chases it down
Back
inside. Dribbles it.
Got it.
And it goes.
He's a ball player. 58. He's done a lot for them.
Yeah, I really like him. I've liked him all day today, and in the past couple of times I've been here to see some of the games, he's always been one of their major players. Big shot. Reynolds not able to chase it down. Trip Green gets in. There's going to be a timeout on the floor. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go in this one. 58-55 for Forsyth Country Day. Both teams want to talk it over. And I would say Forsyth Country Day wants to make sure they know what they're about to do with the ball.
Right. And for Reynolds, that is a play right there that if they don't get this win today, that may be one play that they look back at and say, wow, we did not get the rebound defensively. We're only down 3 with 1:20 left. We needed that defensive rebound. So
offensive rebounds are just a killer for your defense. You especially when we don't have a We see Keyshawn Bishop, the organizer, CEO, founder of Blue Chip Basketball over here. Does a lot of good work in the community. We consider him part of the Basketball Elite family. Works with us in our summer showcase.
Without a doubt.
Helps it go off without a hitch. I was admiring his retro Air Jordans
I'm about
today.
to say, they look like might be my size, too. And I might need to talk to him after.
Yeah, Keyshawn's always got his shoe game on point.
Always.
Back in action here. Both teams having talked it over. Green, nice pass. Oh, tough defense on the floor. Picked up. There's our man.
Wow. What's the call?
They're saying it's there's some discussion here.
It's blue.
It's staying with Reynolds. It's staying with
Wow.
Reynolds.
Okay. We're down 3 with a minute left.
A minute 5, a minute 4. Reynolds has got to be smart with their offense here. Here's Pruitt. Draws 2 defenders.
Kicks it out. Oh, this is big.
Oh.
Got him.
Oh, that's a huge shot.
Tie game, 58.
50 seconds left here. Forsyth Country Day doesn't want to be rattled. That's a bad spacing for wide
Extra
open here on the other
pass.
side.
Tough move.
He's got the call. That does stop the clock. 39.6. It's going to send Forsyth Country Day to the line. We have to stop for just a moment and just, even if Reynolds is not able to pull this game out, you have to admire how much fight they've had, having to play 3 times today and being down big earlier in this one. Not as big as, some of the other teams down by 17 or whatever. They were down by 12, I think, at one point.
Shows a lot of heart, determination. That's just, it's very impressive. Honestly, it is.
Another free throw coming. These are big shots here. 39.6 seconds left. That one's off. Big rebound by Pruitt. A 2 would take the lead here.
No rush. Don't rush it.
Freeman driving, slashing up over the top.
Good
And the and one.
That's a big time play.
That is a big time play. You said it. Chris Freeman puts his team up by 1 with 31.4 seconds left, and he's going to the line.
Wow.
This could be a huge turn of events for R.J. Reynolds. Freeman is a good free throw shooter. Everybody waiting to see what happens here.
Oh.
No good.
It's the rebound. And
1 point lead, 27 seconds left. Trouble in the backcourt.
Jay Green has it. What do they call
He
timeout?
gets it up.
No timeout.
Slices
tough
through.
shot.
No good. Battle for the ball. That's going to be a jump ball. And that is going to stay with Forsyth Country Day. 17.8 seconds left.
I was surprised not to see a timeout called.
Yeah, they've
So
got
they
to.
could set something up, but it looks like they're just going to roll with it. Bruno Solomon.
Solomon can hit that. No good.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this guy, he got it. Battle,
Bruno Solomon.
Solomon. Nobody's got to hold on it, and that's going to stay with Forsyth Country Day. 9.2 seconds left now. Every shot going up by Forsyth Country Day, just so close, so close.
Wow.
Over the top to
lob
Bruno.
to
Boom! 9 seconds left. 8.47.
Freeman.
5. Freeman driving.
Oh,
There's a foul.
Wow.
4 seconds left, and Freeman is injured.
Looks like he's cramping up. Hopefully that's all it is.
We got to adjust our score here.
Yeah,
Get it right. 61-60, and they're still working on Freeman right now, trying to help him up. Yeah, he's cramping up. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a cramp. So it's exactly 4.0 on the clock.
And that foul, I don't know if would there be a 1-and-1 at this point?
I don't really know. I mean, earlier we had some discussion over whether they were even doing 1-and-1.
Right. I mean, if they are now, that would be huge. But if they are not, I don't think Freeman is going to be able to play the last 4 seconds.
Yeah, he's limping off pretty good. It's unfortunate. He's been one of the main reasons they've come back in this one.
Absolutely. And so it looks like they're lined up for 1-and-1.
So they got Yahya Bilal is going to take the free throws.
These
for
are
Freeman.
Huge.
Yeah, this is a big. This is what you always dream about as a player, though, right? Bang!
Ice water in his veins.
Bilal. As I do this all day. Ties it up. Everybody's in the gym wanting to see this one. 4 seconds. Clock is stopped. Back to back for Bilal. Up by 1. 4 seconds. Forsyth Country Day has to travel. They can get it up court. Good pass by Bruno. Oh, and they call a timeout. I 2.6. I'm not sure I would have called that. I think they had a 3-on-1 break.
They did, and I believe the coach probably prior to even watching.
He probably knew he was going to call that.
Yeah, it already had it in his mind.
So let's reset here. 2.6 seconds on the clock. Both teams talking it over, trying to see what they can figure out.
Well, at this point, you cannot have any type of defensive breakdown. Expect a lot of back screens and everything being set, a pass over the top. But with 2.6 seconds, they got to get something.
Yeah, you got some good shooters out there, though. You got Green, you got 85 who can slash. Bruno is a huge.
Oh, it's
tough defense. Oh, who's it going to? I don't think the refs have a good angle on this at all.
They'll probably give it to.
They're going to talk it over. Refs talking it over right now.
Ron White.
Staying with Forsyth Country Day. I think that might be the right call. It looked like it went off of Reynolds. 1.2 seconds left. So now that Reynolds has got to lock it down.
Green
with a deep
away.
shot.
Oh, my goodness. You have got to be kidding me.
Trip Green.
Wow.
Does it in style.
Wow.
There's no replay.
We said he was the player of the game, and he definitely made sure of that. Wow.
Trip Green falling out of bounds, being knocked to the floor, buzzer sounds, bank shot.
What a game.
Unbelievable. That's going to do it.
What a game.
64-62. Forsyth Country Day, the #1 seed, comes in and barely escapes on some miraculous heroics by Trip Green.
Wow.
That's going to do it for us. I'm Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports alongside Charles Clark. Charles, we've witnessed a good one. That's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you on the next broadcast. Thanks a lot.